Hello, Virgo. Welcome to your weekly reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you're watching this reading was meant to find you. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Virgo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. A Six of Swords. This is a beauty and a harmony of the mind. This is an ability to bring some kind of order from the chaos, right? I think that you're somebody that can easily connect with people if it's for the right reasons. You don't really care much for small talk. You want to talk about deep things. You want to get right to the point, and you want to. I feel like you're a person of few words, but those words are very impactful and very meaningful. I think you have the potential to make a lot of connections in your life. Now, I said this is the card of pulling the order out of the chaos, right? And they're swords. It's about the chaos in our own mind. It's about finding some sort of a harmony and formulating some kind of a plan in our own minds, rather than just chaos, where it's just like in our minds we experience the world as just being one random event after another one, and there's no real plan or order to anything. Even if we have this routine of waking up and going to work and going to bed, we're still getting hit with all of these random variables constantly, every day, all day, right? So I feel like this is our ability. This is our need. This is kind of what it looks like when we're able to organize our thoughts, control our thoughts, and have our minds structured in such a way where we are just operating in this optimal sweet spot. This like Goldilocks zone of our mentality where we can get anything done. We can do anything. It's an efficiency, but it's also a calm and relaxed energy. Let's put this card into some context. All right. There's a Six of Pentacles, exactly. When we have a structured and ordered mind, we can have a structured and ordered life. We can find the sweet spot. The sweet spot where everything we think about and we want to do, every plan we have, we're able to accomplish it. Now, this is the ideal, right? Of course, there are a lot of challenges that come in between our thinking things into reality, right? But if we have a structured, and if we can control our thoughts, we can control our environment, and we can control our bodies. The body is going to follow whatever the mind is doing. And I always use the analogy of my daughter riding her bicycle. I say, wherever your eyes are looking, that's where the bicycle's going to go. It's the same thing with our thoughts. Wherever our thoughts are going, our body's going to go that way too. If we're thinking all this negative stuff, we're thinking disaster, 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 then the body's going to be over here at the potter's wheel giving you a bowl of disaster. And you're thinking, why did you bring this to me? Well, I thought that's what you wanted. That's what you kept thinking about, We think of success, we put ourselves already in the winner's circle. And the body, and the heart and the mind, our being is going to create that. It's going to get to work, So if we can organize our thoughts, then we can organize our efforts and our behaviors, and we can really get stuff done. We can really accomplish our goals here. The Six of Pentacles is success. It's material success. And success is basically... success could be good or bad. Success means that the body has, or the physical material world has successfully created whatever the blueprint was in the mind, the Six of Swords, right? Whatever image we have, whatever blueprint we have, the success is basically saying, okay, look, now it's appeared in the material world. Maybe this is not what we wanted. Okay, but the success is saying that there's a mirror between what we achieve in the environment and what we have been holding in our minds, what we've been focused on, and If the mind is just pure chaos, success is basically going to be just pure chaos. That's going to be the result, right? Let's put the rest of our cards out before we get too far into all of this. Here is a Prince of Wands, a Two of Swords, Seven of Swords, and the Art or Temperance card. This is the pressure cooker. This is the challenging way forward. Okay? This is, a pressure cooker situation, right? It is the pressure that makes the diamond. It is the sand in the oyster that makes the pearl, right? It is the being able to put ourselves in challenging situations that are going to allow us to continue to grow and continue to expand. The sixes, I feel like, are the sweet spot of the activity. Even though the sixes are even numbers, right? They're sort of a state of thing. Yeah, this is the state of harmony within ourselves, within our thoughts, and in our behaviors, so that we're able to withstand the difficulties. We're able to put ourselves into the fire and accomplish whatever our goals are. See, everybody's going to meet with challenges. Everybody has challenges in life. I don't care who you are. It's our way of organizing our thoughts and our mind and directing our consciousness and directing, therefore, our physical behaviors and the material world that are going to determine how we get through those challenges and what the outcome is. So if we're going to have challenges anyway, we might as well use them, right? We might as well approach them in the right way that's going to allow us to continue to grow and change. And if we can grow and change, if I can continue getting better and better internally, then I'll have more ability to sort of create the world the way I want it to be, my particular world, right? And that's sort of a magician energy that we're looking for. I think every reading really is trying to teach us how to become the very best magicians that we can be. And the magician is one that knows the conditions, knows who we are, and is able to say, okay, if I want a better world around me, I've got to change myself. I've got to learn and grow, and I've got to get better. I've got to work out my karma, work out my stuff. And then I can have a better chance of building up my reality in a way that's satisfying and meaningful to me. Of course, we have some obstacles to that, primarily a Seven of Swords. I think the Seven of Swords, as soon as there's one thought that rises up above all the other thoughts, those thoughts start to attack that big one, It's kind of like a group of friends and one person gets up and says that they're going to start doing something different in life, And, back in the day, I used to drink a lot back in the day, right? It was me and all my friends, and we would just, I'd have people around me, and that's what we did, And, the moment someone would kind of have that idea, like, hey, you know what, I think I'm going to quit drinking, right? Everybody would laugh at them. I would spend our 20s, right? And it was terrible. And you think about it now, and it just seems like, well, that's awful. Why would we do that to people, And I think in that sort of group mentality, anybody that's threatening to break away from the group, well, that's somebody that's we're going to be one less in numbers, And this goes back to this, I think, very primal thing of where the more people we have in our group, the safer the group. And so then when somebody gets up and says they're going to go off and do their own thing, well, we're worried about them, for one thing. We think, well, that you're asking for trouble. You're venturing off into a fire, into a pressure cooker. And since we care about that member of a group, we're saying you're putting yourself at risk. You're going off and doing your own thing. It's dangerous out there. You don't have the safety in numbers if you go and do your own thing. And not only that is that you're leaving us with one less person, so that's threatening our safety. And so there's kind of there's a mixed agenda there. And I feel like that's what you're recognizing in your life now, that there are critics out there, that are people that are not supportive of what you're doing. There are people that don't want you to do what you're sort of working toward or planning to do, or what you're kind of the path that you're on, right? So I feel like you're the focus of a lot of criticism right now. And I think that this is coming from people that mean well. People that care about you, they don't want to see you do the risky thing. I don't want to see any of my friends jump into a pressure cooker situation, jump into a very challenging thing, And so, we would tell our friend, no, wait, don't go do that. No, that's crazy. That you're going to get yourself hurt, or it's, it's safer here. Stay with us in a way. And that's another part of the Six of Pentacles too, because the Six of Pentacles in a sort of a different interpretation, this is sort of the group. This is the community. This is the group of people, the harmonious clan. The collection of people that all have something to contribute. Well, if you're the Seven of Swords, if you're breaking away from that group, there's going to be some contention here. And you're proposing to take your life in a different direction and move away from this, and not necessarily that you're leaving a group of people, maybe not literally, but you're doing something that sets you apart from others. And so you're making yourself stand out, and when anything that stands out, then becomes a target, right? So we're kind of, I think you're existing here, and let's look at this as kind of a group think, group behave sort of mob mentality kind of thing here, where this is like we can stay in this sort of infinite place where time just seems to. We just sort of lose connection with time and space, and we're just here in this flow with this life that we have, and it's kind of it's hypnotic in a way, right? It's sort of blinds us to the reality, and we end up just thinking and behaving like everybody else, And then there's nothing wrong with this. This is fine, We start doing thinking and believing the same thing everybody else believes. We start behaving in the same way. The results are the same. It's very predictable. It's very it's harmony. It's rhythm, The Seven, of course, looking at it from this perspective, is not harmony and resonance, but it's dissonance, right? You're setting yourself against the sort of rhythm and flow of the world around you. And maybe that's really the good thing here. Okay, and that's why I feel you've been experiencing a lot more criticism lately, because it's kind of like you are the stick in the spokes, and that's okay, because it's leading you to putting yourself into situations where you are going to grow and become the best version of yourselves. Now, if there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Let's finish up the cards here. Path of the Serpent. We have a Prince of Wands and then a Prince of Swords over here. We have a Princess of Swords. We have a Nine of Pentacles and the Sun. The Nine of Pentacles is progress. Okay? And the difficult thing here, I think, is to realize the obstacle is this need for progress, right? And I think what it's really saying here with that Nine of Pentacles is that you're putting yourself into a pressure cooker situation. And let's just remember, this is the diamond at the end, right? That we achieve through putting ourselves under the pressure, giving ourselves the challenges, giving ourselves a deadline, giving ourselves a milestone that says, I'm going to run a mile today. I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. today, no matter what. We're giving ourselves this challenge, okay? And we're creating our true self. We're creating a radiant sun. This is like the diamond, this is the pearl and the oyster kind of thing. But the Nine of Pentacles is this need for the visible signs of progress. And if we keep doing the same thing, doing, and we don't see any results, I think most of us would give up. And we'd go back to the sort of rhythm and the order that we've been in, where this was at least predictable, functional. This was, let's say, a positive feedback loop of life, Whereas that Nine of Pentacles in that position is saying you may not get any kind of results for like a year, 10 years. And we're not thinking like, well, I went to the gym and it didn't do anything. I feel worse after getting home from the gym. I'm not going to the gym ever again. That was terrible, right? It's been one day, This is a year-long journey, right? And so some of this criticism is coming from ourselves saying, well, look, you didn't see any results today. Are you sure you want to keep doing it? You know? And this is maybe coming from other people too that say, I don't know why you keep doing that, because look at you. You're tired. You're angry. You're not hanging out with us anymore. Like it doesn't seem to be benefiting you, right? These are those people that are thinking in terms of the day and the week and the month, where you're thinking long term. You're thinking, I know what this is going to do for me. I don't need to have, I don't need to have the constant reassurance from the universe that I'm on the right path. So there's a real steadfastness here, and that's part of this, the fixed fire energy of this Prince of Wands, right? And I think also of the Prince of Swords. Both of these are very, very fixed, right? Fixed thought and a fixed energy, a commitment, a resolve, a perseverance. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card, random card that we're going to look at the very end. Okay, we're going to put big red ant on top now. We're not looking at that card for a little while, but if you want to leave a prediction or a hunch or a guess down in the comments, please do. Strongly encouraged that we exercise our intuition at every opportunity. Looking around the room, we do see these two major arcana energies, the pressure cooker and the sun. This is sort of, it's the sand. The sand in the oyster creating the pearl. It is the diamond that comes from all of this pressure in the world. We've got fire underneath you, so you are motivated and committed to something, even though people are, and maybe even yourself, right? Because that Seven of Swords is opposition and criticism coming from within and without. That despite that criticism, you're still doing it. You're still there. Okay, so we got our fire right here. What we don't have is the water, and I think that's an important thing to remember. We don't have that water. We don't have that joy. We don't have that refreshment. It's not time to quit and to relax and unwind and take the hot bath and drink the LaCroix. It's time to push. It's time to keep going, especially as it seems there is a resistance that you're going against. I think a well-structured, rhythmic kind of thing, and you're being the stick in the spokes, And I think that it's really important that you learn about the swords cards here, especially because there are so many swords. There's no water, but there are a lot of swords. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 swords cards. Half the reading is about how you're thinking about things. Okay? And at the beginning I said with the Six of Swords that you understand how to be in harmony with the process of creation on the mental plane. You understand that what you think about is what your body's going to end up doing. That the order that you extract from the chaos, well, that's going to be your reality. The universe is just a jumble of impressions. It's just it's electromagnetic energy that is just, we don't know what it's doing. I mean, it's so infinite, it's so vast, it's so complex, it's so seemingly chaotic, we can't make heads or tails of it. But Mercury comes into things here. This is a Mercury energy, Mercury in Aquarius. This is a fixed air energy, which is also Aquarius. You might want to take a look at the Aquarius reading. Mercury comes in and tries to develop some sort of a plan from this. Now, with the Six of Swords, it very much is kind of breaking our lives down to a science. That we know who we are, and we know we have this idea in our heads that says, okay, if I focus my thoughts and my energy in this direction, I'm anticipating the results will be X, Y, Z. I'm anticipating that if I keep this plan in my head and do the experiment, that this will be the result. And so I think that's the path that you're setting out upon. You're trying to control your thoughts. You're trying to economize your thoughts. I feel like you've probably been disconnecting a little bit from some of the social media. I feel like you've been pulling back a little bit of time from family and friends and just trying to really buckle down and get some stuff done right now. Focusing your thoughts is going to help you focus your energy and then create the results that you're anticipating. This is a very successful experiment. Okay, this is a 6 to a 6. It's a perfect kind of match. And this isn't something that we think is going to happen overnight. And of course, that's where the criticism comes in from the Seven of Swords. Because it's just saying, hey, look, you put in that effort, you have this plan, you have this energy, but, it didn't work. Well, this is a gumbo that you're cooking low and slow. This is going to take a while. It's not something that happens overnight. I do feel like you're a lot closer than you think you are. Okay? I think that the difficulty is to realize that it's just about to hit, and to not give up and not quit when you're this close to the particular goal, right? And the Seven of Swords is going to try to convince you more and more and more to quit. The closer you get to the goal, the more frantic will be the opposition. Because it's like it's like the evil forces of the world are recognizing how close you're getting, and so the voices are going to be louder, and they're going to be more frequent, and those doubts are going to come faster, and the people around you are going to try to slow you down. It's kind of like the Truman Show when he started to wake up, when he started to realize what was going on. He'd almost figured it out, and everybody in the whole town thing were rushing at him to try to get him to stop, to bring him back into the fold, to bring him back into his rhythmic and routine life. And the closer he got to figuring out the truth, the more frantic everybody became, and the more desperate became that opposition. And that's what happens with the Seven of Swords. The closer we get to the goal, the more frantic these opposing forces get. But despite all of the obstacles to your mentality, I guess, you have this Prince of Wands underneath you. This is that fire and that fixed fire energy that says it doesn't matter what I think, what other people tell me, I keep doing it. When the alarm clock goes off, I'm going to have thoughts that say, just, hit the snooze button. You can go to sleep. You can do the work tomorrow. The work will still be there. You don't have to do it today. All these thoughts are going to continue to happen, but we're going to turn off the alarm. We're going to get up. We're going to go do it. Eventually, we'll develop greater and greater ability to control our thoughts, so that at least the opposition coming from within us is not going to be so great. We still might find other people that are just be like, other, let's say, roommates. Be like, God, you're up at 5 o'clock in the morning again. Like, you're disturbing the rest of the house. Like, sorry, I'll try to be quieter, but I'm going to keep doing it. And so the first, I think the biggest benefit is from controlling our own thoughts and our own doubts. That when we set out to do something, it's very easy to find an excuse not to do it. And part of because every card has light and shadow, and I hope you saw that when we're talking about the sixes, how they can mean different things at the same time. But I think the commitment, it's easy to find an excuse not to do something. It's more powerful and perhaps even more difficult to just find a particular reason or a group of reasons to continue to do something. So these are the thoughts that tell you, just hit the snooze button. You don't need to do it. You can put it off till tomorrow. You can just, you can be lazy today. You had a late night. You're not feeling so great. Your ankle hurts, whatever it is. A lot of thoughts that will convince you not to do it. We have to try to focus and control our thoughts and give us reasons to do it. I do it now, and then I can have the rest of the day where I can do other things. It's 1 or 2 hours in the morning, and then I'll be done. Creating this sort of habit of thought is going to allow you to stay on track with a little bit less energy. It takes a lot more power to overcome the negative thoughts than it does to just get into the flow of these very positive thoughts. But either way, as we're working on this kind of mental control, you've got this sheer, powerful ambition that just says, no matter what I say, I'm going to get up and I'm going to do it. And now, I wake up at 5:30 in the morning to come down here and film these readings. And I try to do it every day, rain or shine, even when I'm not feeling well. Some days I can't get out of bed, and that is what it is, But every day when the alarm clock goes off, I think, I can just snooze it for a little bit. Well, what if I got up at 6? Well, what if I just got up at 7? What if I didn't work today and I just did extra work tomorrow? That's another thing that's a trick that I do. I always think, well, I could just sleep in today, and then I'll just do extra work tomorrow, and it'll be fine. But then I'm going to have to pay for that tomorrow. You know, it's, I'd gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. I'm not going to want to pay you on Tuesday either, you know. So by just postponing, by pushing the work off till tomorrow eventually is going to come. And then what? Then you're going to be in this absolute despair, thinking, I've got twice as much work to do today. I should have just done it yesterday. Right? And so this is that energy that says, no matter what excuses I try to tell myself, I'm going to just get up and I'm going to do it. And I'm going to work as hard as I can. I'm going to get it done. I'm going to get into that zone, whether this is, whatever this is for you. Whatever, I don't know what you're doing, right? I'm reading the energy here. It's all, to me, the readings aren't usually about what you're doing. It doesn't really matter what you're doing. I think all of you are doing something different probably. There's some overlap, sure. I think we'd be probably pretty amazed by all the similarities and the overlap and stuff. But generally speaking, you're all doing something different. I don't care about what you're doing. I care about how and why, And this is the how and why. What you're doing, what the outcome of your experiment is, what the behaviors that you're looking to continue and to expand upon and to grow and to utilize to create your reality. These are sort of incidentals, right? This is the what you're doing, and I can't see what you're doing. I can see how and why you're doing it. So we understand the Prince of Wands, the Two of Swords in the background here. It's to me, I think it was the time where you'd really decided to do this. It's that moment where you said, "That's it. I'm going to do it." And maybe this is the first time that you've ever really done something this significant, and it may appear at first sort of glance that it's a lot harder than you thought it was going to be, and that's okay. It's just a matter of persevering, and maybe not every day is going to be successful. Maybe you will, you'll meet with challenges, and maybe you will fail sometimes. And that's okay. The Two of Swords is that moment where we commit to something. It's kind of saying your life has there's two roads in front of you right now, and which one are you going to choose? You know what that road leads to. You know what kind of going down that path, that's the path that you've always been on, and you know where that has taken you. You know what it would be like to continue along that path, but going this other path, the path toward the pressure cooker, the path toward that art or temperance card. That card going toward that path of controlling yourself and controlling your efforts, controlling your thoughts to create the kind of life that you want, to make whatever kind of gumbo you're making. That's a different beast, right? It's not the same as what you've been doing, so it's not as predictable. But what if it's way more rewarding? And so it's kind of like there was this moment in your life where you decided, okay, I can't keep doing the same thing I was doing. I know the path I was on, and I know where it was going to lead. I know I didn't want that. I know I wasn't satisfied with that. So we're taking this other path, come what may. It's either going to be better or worse or the same. But at least it's not the old path that we already know the outcome of that. And I think this was that moment. And I think that maybe is why we don't see any water energy here. This is what you're looking for. You're out here in the desert trying to find water. Well, you know what that path down there was going to lead to. Nothing, right? Not the water you wanted. So we're taking this path and we're saying it's either going to lead to water or it's not. Okay? So we've got our art or temperance card right in front of you, and this is that challenging thing. It's kind of like we know we have to walk through this desert to get to the oasis. We're not just going to sit here and the oasis is going to come to us, right? We know that we have to get out here and do that. We have to be in the pressure cooker if we're going to be transformed, if we're going to be changed, if we're going to evolve into the savory dish that we're meant to become. You can tell I'm starting to get hungry. But this is, again, this is the art card, right? So this is a path that it's more creative because you have more unique control over it. It's kind of saying that your life can be whatever you want it to be. You've just got to make the choice to go down that road. You've got to have the commitment and the perseverance to keep going and not to turn back. And you've got to be able to, you've got to have the mental fortitude to resist the inner and outer critics. And your life can be whatever you want it to be. It can look however you want it to look. Okay? This is also the Temperance card. It's in a way tempering our expectations. Relates to that 9 of Pentacles, when we feel like we should be getting some kind of results, and it's like, well, it's been a week and I still don't see anything. Do it for another week, right? And if at the end of that week you say, I still don't see anything, do it for another week, right? Because this is a long-term thing. This is a way of life. This is not just I want to achieve a goal, because if you would, but sometimes we need that, right? We say, I'm going to lose 20 pounds. Okay, well, I'm going to bust my butt and work as hard as I can. I'm going to lose 20 pounds. Cool. But if we haven't developed the skills to control ourselves, to build these good habits, to control our thoughts, to wake up when we say we're going to wake up and do what we say we're going to do, we're going to get those 20 pounds right back in a couple of days, probably. I know I would. So this discipline and this fortitude and this control of ourselves and this attitude needs to be something that we build into a system within ourselves, okay? And so it really is about the long-term sort of growth and transformation, and what you're not changing into something other than what you are. You're becoming what you are. You're becoming what you're meant to be. You're unleashing your potential here. Because again, it doesn't matter what you're doing. You can apply this energy to anything. Your physical health, your financial health, your work, your career, your friends, your family stuff. You can apply this energy to your creative efforts and to your spiritual pursuits, everything. This energy applies all across the board. But it is through challenging ourselves, because this, again, it's the Temperance card, right? We're tempering steel. It is through this process of challenges that we are developing the virtues and the skills and the strength to do whatever we want, And so every time you encounter a challenge, we need to think, all right, this is going to be a way that I'm going to be stronger through this situation, whether I win or lose, whether I fail or succeed. By me engaging with this challenge, I am growing. I am strengthening myself. I am becoming more of that radiant sun card that we see. I'm becoming more of that diamond that I'm meant to be. And those are the skills that you really are trying to develop, because those are the skills that are going to allow you to accomplish literally anything you want in life. Now, we're going to talk about the path of the serpent. We got more air cards over here. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please consider doing so. It supports the channel, and I really do appreciate that. Fixed thought, the fixed air energy. We see back here we were kind of in that decision. Do I go down the path that I've always gone down, the choice that I've always made, or the choice that everybody else is making, or whatever that is? Or do I try to go my own way and really go and change my life by becoming who I'm meant to be? Right? So this was the choice. This was the kind of either or. Now we feel the fixed air energy. This is some Aquarius energy. It feels like there is no choice. It feels like this is the only path that we could be on. This is the only path that could possibly lead to water. I got high hopes for the mystery card. This is a fixed air energy. This is saying that no matter what happens, I'm going to control my thoughts and control my efforts and my ambitions, and I'm going to, of course, create the success that I want to see. I'm going to achieve what I want to achieve in life. Okay? We have this fixed. So now it really is that we're fixed. We're fixed in kind of a Six of Swords idea, where every thought we have is pointed toward the very heart of the situation, that we're making every thought count toward the goal. We're making every thought then reinforce the goal, rather than every thought kind of threatening and challenging and trying to distract us from our goal. All of our thoughts are working for us. We're very fixed in this blueprint that we have, and we're utilizing every moment we have, every ounce of energy, but every every thought. And I think a lot of the time we don't realize how our thoughts are sort of going on without our consent. You know, we ever stop and just think about what you've been thinking about? It's crazy sometimes. You're like, well, why was I thinking about all that random stuff? Because we didn't have control and focus of our mind at that time. Of course, sometimes we need a little bit of relaxation. Of course, we need to unwind, you know, and we need to give the mind time to just to do its thing and to process and purge all this stuff and allow all those random thoughts to just kind of flow, you know. But it's a good idea to pay attention to them. And it's a good idea to see how we can sort of start to sort of encourage or channel all those thoughts into our chosen direction in its fixed air energy kind of way. Now, the Princess of Swords in the environment or in terms of your relationships, I think that you're really trying to be more efficient in your relationships. And again, there's this an echo of what I said at the beginning about how you don't really like small talk. That you'd really just you'd rather get to the point, and you'd rather just sort of why say many words when few words do trick, right? You'd rather just kind of economize. You'd rather be able to express yourself in just a particular symbol or a hand gesture rather than having to really go through this whole thing and explain everything, right? And sometimes I wish that, I could just do silent tarot readings where I just hold up a card and I'll just leave it there for 30 seconds and then I'll just pick up the other card and I'll hold it up for 30 seconds and you'll know exactly what I mean. So we have to understand that, we need to communicate with people. We need to explore other things. We need to constantly be learning. We need to be taking in new information. And sometimes we get this feeling of being so fixed in our beliefs, so fixed in our minds that we become rigid and we don't, it's like we're doing that scientific experiment. And if we have these fixed beliefs and these fixed outcomes that we're expecting, then we're not going to admit any kind of other data in here. This is a closed system, okay? And if it's saying that, I put in this effort, I had this plan, but it didn't work out my way, okay, well, there must have been some mistake. Something happened. There's an error here somewhere, and I just need to try again. It's fine. But if we're doing something the same way over and over and over again and getting the same results, something has to change. Usually it's a matter of we need to grow and learn a little bit. If we're approaching the conditions with the same behaviors and we're getting the same outcomes, something's going on here, right? And what we've got to do is figure out what I need to learn, how I need to grow, what new information do I need, what else do I need to work on, right? So that I can come back to this situation and push and get through this obstacle, solve this problem, and get to that sun, So we want to be fixed in our mind. We want to have the ability to control our thoughts, but we also need to have a little bit of an open mind that's ready to learn. Sometimes the Princess of Swords is a little defensive. And I'm sorry if that kind of makes you defensive to say that, but I feel like sometimes this is us refusing to accept any kind of information that goes against the pattern of what we already believe. And so that kind of prevents us from growing, right? Because nobody wants to be criticized. Nobody wants to hear, you're not that good at math. You need to work harder at your math. And we just say, no, my math skills are fine. Get out of here, We don't take criticism very well. We saw that with the Seven of Swords. This card needs to be a little bit less defensive and say, okay, I know how to take constructive criticism. I'm not going to take the criticism as people saying, you can't do this. What are you doing? You're silly. Sit back down. No, we're saying, hey, you gotta get better at math, and here are some things that you can try to get better at math. That's something, okay, I appreciate that. I will thank you for that information. But if you're just going to sit here and tell me, no, you can't do it. What are you doing? You're silly. You're too short. Whatever, you're not smart enough, you don't have the right experience, you wear glasses, you can't do that, you're wearing glasses, like all these different things, that you're not tall enough, you're not smart enough, you're not good looking enough. All these things, no, I'm not going to put up with that. But if you're going to tell me, hey, there are ways that we can improve, there's constructive criticism. I think we got to be open to that. Okay? And then we kind of look at our Nine of Pentacles as this card of growth. Now we're starting to see the gains. Now we're starting to see that, okay, I'm approaching this thing, and I can see the subtle ways that things are changing. You go to the gym every day for a month, and the obvious thing is I still look and feel the same. I haven't lost any weight. I haven't built any muscle. I look the same in the mirror, right? But with this, if we're approaching it in the way of being open to new ideas and new information and learning and growing, then maybe this is like, yeah, I've been going to the gym every day for a month, but I haven't been doing anything there. I've just been sitting there on the bench. Well, no wonder I'm not seeing any results yet, So this might be that we really need to kind of learn the skills necessary to maximize the results of our efforts, okay? And I also think with the Nine of Pentacles here that it is about the long term. You want to see going to the gym every day for a year, right? Rather than at the end of the week, I don't feel anything different. Well, with this open perception of the Princess of Swords, it's our ability to understand and to sense the subtle. So we can say, yeah, I may not have these obviously overt signs of success. I don't have huge muscles and ripped abs, but I do feel better. I'm in a better mood. I sleep better at night. I feel like less cravings for salty junk food, or ice cream. That's my guilty pleasure. So we can appreciate the subtle ways that we are making progress. But people from the outside, they may be looking at it and be like, you just seem miserable, Those are some of the criticism coming from outside that we need to resist, right? But we have to be able to sense and get those little wins that say, yeah, I do feel a little bit better. This is actually working. When we go to the gym, we realize that, I'm lifting a couple pounds more than I did yesterday. I'm able to do that for a couple extra reps that I wasn't able to do last week. So that's progress. That's not anybody outside can see that, but we can, okay? And I think the outcome here is becoming this radiant sun, who we are meant to become. Uncovering our true selves here and having this kind of relentless determination that just says, I am going to be the best version of myself. Whatever that means to you, whatever exactly you're doing, it doesn't matter. This is how and why you should be doing it, and you will achieve your success. All right, let's look at our mystery card. I know this is getting to be a long reading. I'm trying to keep them to 30 minutes or less, but gosh darn it. Sometimes I want this to be water energy, obviously, right? If you have a prediction, please put it in the comments. Let's take a look. Yeah, Two of Cups. Where's my bell? Two of Cups, water energy. Now we're feeling in love. Now we're feeling that it's this joy of knowing that we're on the path toward our true self. This is you, face to face with your true self and realizing that we're now having this, we can now see our true selves and we're getting closer to this version of ourselves that we really are in love with. And having that vision, having that sense of the proximity to our true self or to the spirit or whatever we kind of want to call it, gives us even more courage. You see that there is a winged lion growing out of this interaction. Well, the winged lion is more motivation. So when we start to feel this kind of joy, now it's not the joy of eating a bowl of ice cream, it's not the pleasure of a hot bath, right? It's not sensory pleasure. This is a deep love now for this path that you're on. And that water energy showing up in that very deep, very intense way is motivating you even more to get up and to control those thoughts and to not snooze the alarm clock in the morning, and this is that reward, This is all that love. I think this is what we've been searching for, and you realize that this is something within you, that this love that we want, this oasis that we're searching for, is not something we're searching for outside, but something in us. We're in love with our lives. We're in love with how we're living our lives. I don't care who criticizes me. I can use that criticism constructively, or I could just totally ignore it if it's rude, you know. If it's about things I can't change, oh, were you too short? Well, you know, nothing I can do about that. Tell me something that I can use, right? Otherwise, don't talk to me. And I feel like that's sort of your energy now. And it's worth it. And this is extraordinary. We're going to move straight into the extended reading. I hope you'll follow me over there. We're going to do a hexagram from the Jing and some other oracle cards, see how the energy develops from here. Okay? Click on the link in the corner. There is one down below. New readings for Virgo Tuesdays and Saturdays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.